Hello to whoever is watching this video. In my second video, I'll be explaining how to buy a cart and the process it takes to not only buy one, but from buying it to getting it onto the track. Not necessarily in a race, but just for practice. So I'll start. So there's two methods. The first one is buying it new. So you can go to a competitive like outdoor karting track and they will most likely sell high-end karts. So then from there you can choose which kart you want. I would be racing in the 4-stroke class, which for me would be Briggs LO206. It is tuned lawnmower engines, but for racing, which is kind of funny. So of course they're a little bit slower than 2-stroke karts because 2-stroke karts are lighter, like Khataks and X30. They're a lot faster, but they're also more expensive to buy. So yeah, so for a new Briggs kart at a dealership, it would run you up about $9,000, let's say. But the advantage of that is that everything's new, and you'll most likely get a subscription or something that comes with the deal, like allowing, for example, 2 years of like free people, like a mechanic, for example, fixing your cart. Of course, you still have to pay for the pieces, but the person actually like mounting them to the cart, it's all free. This is just an example. There might be different deals. For example, sometimes when you buy from a kart track, they'll give you a free pass for the year, let's say. So there's things like that buying it new comes with advantages, but also disadvantages, because the price is like stupidly like expensive, like, so which is why I'm buying it used, which is a little bit more risky. So I'll kind of explain, like, it's a longer process to buy it used. So if you want to buy it used, for me it would be on Facebook Marketplace. I went to go see the seller yesterday. Like, a couple important steps is you really have to go see the seller. You have to see the cart. You have to ideally start the engine, but just see if everything works, because sometimes like the seating position and things like that, you might not fit in the cart, or the cart might be damaged or whatever. So something to keep in mind is that the engine is always more important than the chassis. I've seen 10-year-old chassis win races in Briggs LO206 in, let's say, Coupe de Maria. I've seen that happen. So an old chassis can still be as competitive as the newer ones. Sure, you might have little disadvantages for aerodynamics, but they're not big enough to make a real difference. Which is why, if you buy used, I highly recommend going to a mechanic, ideally at a karting track, that can look at your cart and kind of explain what's wrong, what's right, what would be like ideal to fix, and if there's any major issues, so that if there is, you can tell your seller or the guy you bought it from that you don't want it anymore. So that's what I'll be doing. So I talked to the guy yesterday. We went to his house, went to go check it out, and like everything was pretty good, although there was a few downsides here and there, like there was missing a cap for the oil, but that's exactly why we're going to have a mechanic explain everything to us and just give us a rundown on if the cart is like race ready, because if when you buy a new one, everything's going to be race ready. The second you get it, you can start racing it. With used, it's a little bit more complicated. You might have to fix some pieces to make it legal. There's a couple things that you have to do. So that's kind of the major thing. I'll be making a video, probably be posted Thursday, on why, like, sorry, not why, but just the whole process it took me from buying the cart to getting it on track. So see you guys in the next video.